View the match statistics of the game between Newcastle and Sheffield United. Newcastle won 3-0 to Sheffield United. Newcastle had 46% of the possession of the ball, while Sheffield United had 54% possession. Newcastle had 12 shots. Sheffield United had 7. Shots on target for Newcastle were 8. While Sheffield United had only 1 shot on target. Sheffield United had 4 corners, while Newcastle had 2. Sheffield United had 10 fouls, while Newcastle had 9 fouls. The goals for Newcastle were scored by St. Maximin in the 55th minute, Richie in the 69th minute, and Joelinton in the 78th minute. Egan attempted to score in the 50th minute for Sheffield United, but was denied a goal. Alan St. Maximin had an outstanding game for the Magpies. Steve Bruce remains unconvinced that his Newcastle side have secured their Premier League status despite an emphatic victory over Sheffield United, which moved them from 11 points clear of the relegation zone. Newcastle has 38 points with 8 games remaining, and a win over struggling Aston Villa on Wednesday would all but secure safety. Their manager has stated that they cannot take anything for granted because you never know. The points returned with 8 games to go. I can't be more pleased. If somebody said with 8 games to go that we're 2 points behind Arsenal, I wouldn't quite believe it. It was a great day for Bruce and his striker Joelinton, who scored only his second Premier League goal and his first since the 25th of August. The relief on the Brazilian striker's face was apparent when he tapped in Newcastle's third, and although there were no fans inside St. James's Park to celebrate with, no doubt many were screaming with delight as the £40 million striker ended his terrible run in front of goal. That was the icing on a sweet Magpies cake. Despite playing their first match since the Premier League restarted, they looked far fresher than their opponents, who produced one of their worst defensive displays of the season, capped by the red card shown to John Egan 5 minutes after the break. It means Chris Wilder's side, who drew against Villa on Wednesday, have taken only 1 point from 2 games. Next up for them is the Manchester United game, a crucial match in the race for a top 4 spot. As for Newcastle, Alan St. Maximin sent them on their way when he fired home at the far post after Enda Stevens inexplicably allowed Matt Ritchie's low ball to go between his legs. Ritchie then added a second with a thunderous strike from the edge of the area. Then came Joelinton's strike from close range after Miguel Almiron delivered a pinpoint low ball to his feet. Steve Bruce continues to make his case. Steve Bruce has somehow remained gracious ever since he took his dream job last summer. As an ex-Sunderland manager who followed former fans' darling Rafael Benitez, he was already in the red when he arrived. His team selections, particularly the reluctance to drop Joelinton, further frustrated the supporters, and now the possibility of new, moneyed owners from Saudi Arabia has cast further doubt on the future of the manager. But time and again, Bruce has confounded his critics this season with wins over Tottenham, Manchester United, Chelsea, and now is double over the Blades. His side produced a disciplined display with plenty of verve provided by St. Maximin, Almiron, and Ritchie. St. Maximin, in particular, was exceptional. The £20 million outlay last summer now seems a snip for the 23-year-old who embarrassed the visiting defense with his trickery and pace before he got his reward in the 55th minute. Ritchie added the second 14 minutes later with the goal of the game, a fierce drive which was too hot to handle for Dean Henderson. With 12 minutes remaining, Joelinton, who had missed an easy chance in the first half, scored his second league goal for the club, 2,130 minutes and 39 shots after scoring the first. Blade lose sharpness at St. James's. Of course, the defender John Egan could not get the better of Joelinton at St. James's Park on Sunday. Wilder's post-match talk to his team might not be repeatable. His side's success this season has been built on unwavering discipline and a miserly defense. The second best is the league before Sunday, but neither were evident here. There were suggestions that something was not right early on in the match, when midfielder Oliver Norwood lost possession far too easily on a couple of occasions before Egan got caught up in the unnecessary altercation with Joe Linton, which earned him a yellow card. That became 2 yellows for the Irishman in the 58th minute when he got on the wrong side of the striker, who he pulled back as Joe Linton tried to run in on a goal. Referee David Coote was given an easy decision. If Wilder had his face in his hands then, worse was to follow. For Newcastle's first, the unusually dependable Stevens got his legs in a muddle as he tried to stop Richie's ball from finding St. Maximin, and for the second, right back George Baldock's reluctance to close down Richie gave the Scot room to shoot. The man of the match was Alan St. Maximin of Newcastle. Alan St. Maximin, who took to his knee after scoring to show solidarity for the movement, was a constant threat to the Blades' defense. Wilder was unhappy with Egan's booking reaction. Sheffield United's manager Chris Wilder stated that Steve Bruce is a competitor and I'm a competitor. We wouldn't have backed away from that. That yellow then puts John in a difficult position. We then allowed a poor mistake for them to go 1-0 up. We had to then chase and choose to open up, and they punished us. People will look at the goals conceded today and will ask how we managed the amount of clean sheets this season and to be defensively tight. We will all need to sharpen up and tighten up. If we don't, it will be a long 5 weeks. We've got a huge game on Wednesday night. We just want the overall performance to be better than what it is. This is the heaviest defeat for the Blades since 2018. Let's look at the stats. Newcastle are now unbeaten in 4 Premier League games on home soil without conceding a goal. The Magpies have kept 4 straight clean sheets in the top flight at St. James's Park for the first time since April 2012. After losing none of their first 9 Premier League away games this season, Sheffield United have since suffered 3 defeats in their last 6 on the road, failing to score on 4 occasions during this run. Wilder and Sheffield United have suffered their heaviest league defeat together since a 3-0 loss at Middlesbrough in August 2018, shipping more than 2 goals on the road for the first time in the Premier League this season. There were 264 seconds between John Egan's sending off and Alan St. Maximin scoring the opener. It was the second red card for Egan's English League career, with his only previous dismissal coming against Millwall in April 2019. After scoring with only one of his first 30 Premier League shots, St. Maximin has now netted with each of his last 2 attempts. Also versus Southampton back in March, only Jonjo Shelvey 5 have netted more times for Newcastle in the past top flight this season than the French winger, who has netted 3. With his first goal involvements of 2019 to 2020, Matt Ritchie has both scored and assisted in a Premier League game for the first time, with the Scotland winger strike his first home league goal since January 2019 versus Manchester City. Next for Newcastle. Newcastle will host Aston Villa on Wednesday, while Sheffield United will be at Manchester United on the same day. Both will happen at 1800 hours. Been a review of the Sheffield United match versus Newcastle. The scores were Newcastle 3 and Sheffield United 0. We wish both teams the best in the Premier League. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching the Learning Academy. Let us know what your comments are on all of the matches that occurred late this week. Let's look at the point standings for the top 10 teams. Liverpool is currently on 83, Manchester City on 60, Leicester City on 54, Chelsea on 51, Manchester United on 46 points, Wolves on 46 points as well, Sheffield United on 44 points, Tottenham Hotspurs on 42 points, Crystal Palace on 42 points, Arsenal on 40 points, Burnley at number 11 with 39 points, Everton has 38 points, Southampton has 37 points, Brighton has 32 points, Watford has 28, West Ham have 27, Bournemouth with 27, Aston Villa has 26 points, and Norwich City comes in at 20th place with 21 points. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching the Learning Academy. This is your place for football review, previews, and your entertaining discussions on what happened during the matches. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We crave your comments on these football reviews. Thanks for watching and enjoy your football matches in June and July.